Hi, today we're going to talk about the recent Singapore 2021 budget. So it was released on the 16th of February 2021. It's got a theme of emerging stronger together, as over the last few years Singapore has channeled these themes of working as a community and Singapore contributing to itself as such. There is a shift from a containment of the virus as such and the impacts of it to a restructuring. And this also links into the ongoing long-term plan for Singapore to enhance its financial services structure and the kind of higher paying, skilled up jobs as such within its market. There's lots of items included to help families and workers and businesses cope and recover from COVID crisis in the immediate term. Some of this is delayed, so for example, the increase in GST has been delayed. Details to come on that in the future, but there's also credits on property taxes, etc., for families, vouchers for hawker centres and things. And there's measures to accelerate the structural adaptations to the longer term, so this kind of skill up of employment that I speak about. We're not going to go into the various family items here. We're going to concentrate on some specific business items and especially related to employment. So first of all, the venture debt. Now this is similar to the government-backed loans in Hong Kong. This has existed before, but there's a change to the existing scheme. The maximum loan for new applications, and this is new applications only, not old ones, has been increased to 8 million Singapore dollars, and that's from 4 million. That's for applications from the 1st of April 2021, so don't go making an application tomorrow. Some notes on this, just to remind you. It requires a 50% security, so essentially some form of guarantee, most likely from the owners of the company. Potentially less security for younger companies, but a security there no less. The company has to have 30% Singaporean ownership, and that's on an alternate basis. So a Singapore company owned by another Singapore company, and that Singapore company is then owned by foreigners, is foreign owned, it's not Singapore owned. And there's bank involvement. You go to the bank for this, and you have to go through the normal bank measures. The government's been very clear that the Singaporean company is obliged to repay 100% of this loan. If not, it goes through default measures. So really the only thing here is that the security provided by the shareholders is reduced. The next one is there's a few senior workers schemes. So this is the government looking to provide grants and make easier employing people over 60, it's 60 and above, so one day over 60. And that includes part-time workers too. The company can be foreign owned, it just has to have one senior who's 60 and over. And interestingly, this includes non-profits as well. This has to have an application made. The scheme has got a lot of details in it, so if this is relevant, then let's talk separately. Much broader is the job support scheme. So this came out previously, and essentially this has been extended for businesses in Tier 1 and Tier 2. Those are businesses like the tourism structure, gate, ferry operators, basically people who have been impacted directly by the COVID and the circuit breakers, etc. There's no application needed, although you can appeal if you think you are affected. And interestingly, the definition for T1 and T2 does include other businesses, so you can appeal for this. For non-T1 and T2, there's no changes to the job support scheme. But the jobs growth incentive, which I've got a couple of clients making use of now, this is intended to give salary support for each mature, disabled, or ex-offender Singaporean hire. Now they have to be Singaporean, that does include permanent residents. Essentially, this is a 12-month support for non-mature, so someone under 40, and it's an 18-month support for mature, disabled, or ex-offender hire. The support is 25% of the gross salary for a non-mature salary and 50% for the others. This is capped at the first Singapore $5,000 of gross monthly wages. That is increasing to be 6,000 Singapore dollars gross wages per month, so there's an increase in the cap. And the window of hire has been extended to September 21 from February 21. So essentially the scheme has been rolled forward for another period of months. The wage support has also gone up to 6 months, so in some cases up to 18 months. The business employing can be foreign owned, and the key is that it must increase the headcount of locals who are earning over 1,400 Singapore dollars a month. So you can't hire someone at a part-time cleaner for $100 Singapore or similar. They have to be real hires and go through. Now, there's no application needed. Payments will start from March 2021, and this will be paid as it was in the prior year with the JSS by direct credit to your account. That's it. So this is definitely good news. Next is the wage credit scheme. This has been around before. It's been extended by 1 year through 2021. And broadly what this is it's the Singapore government co-funding wage increases again to Singaporeans, not to employment pass holders. So a 15% co-funding at a gross of 15,000 per month, and any increase over $50 per month is what it's targeted at. And any increases that you made in 2019 and 2020 will continue to be co-funded as long as you sustain them. Some keys here is the employee has to have been on payroll and on CPF for 3 months, so they can't be employed for a month and then have a pay rise. The company can be foreign owned. There's no application needed, and there's no other changes involved for this. This is something that Singapore is doing really well. It's using the data that it pulls from the CPF, and it's using that to actually auto-approve you and send money back to you as a business. This is something that Singapore's done really, really, really well this year. Development grants. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here because there's an awful lot of them. There are 5 or 6 schemes. They generally require 30% Singaporean ownership, and again, that's ultimate ownership. But what I say to a number of clients is this might be opportunities for your clients rather than your own business. So if you're selling some kind of digital technology, this may be ability for your clients to afford you or to get grants to buy your services. This has been extended up by 1 year to 2021, and as I say there's a lot of other digital transformation grants. This is all part of Singapore's drive to upskill the economy and make it very digital and very global. Overall conclusion is the bulk of the benefit for this, for I know most of my clients, will be the employment benefits, and those are relevant for Singaporeans, but are obviously our good working capital cash flow support, which is good. Foreign ownership makes other grants difficult, but if you don't have foreign ownership, then there is a lot more available for you. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a shout. Thank you very much.